Hey guys, welcome back to Craze Infusion 2022. Here we are. Hope you had a great year. Hope you had a great Christmas, New Year. You'll be back in school, or whatever you do for school, you'll be doing again very soon, probably even tomorrow. Anyway, I had a great Christmas, great New Year, got to be with family. Really good time. And there's something about Christmas time, the end of a year, that causes us to sort of look back and consider what happened over the year. In fact, you'll get a question, hey, how was your year? And you'll use some adjectives to describe how your year was. You'll say it was awesome, it was amazing, or you'll say it was so lame, or it was boring, whatever. There's just something about coming to the end of an event and experience that causes us to look back and summarize it. And we're either going to see all the blessings and amazing things that happened, or we'll see the disappointments, the discouragements, the really bummer things that happen. And sometimes it's just a swirl of emotions as we experience a lot of good and a lot of bad in a given year. But what we want to do is work through an exercise in this video in your time together that will help you really consider this past year and not just have gone through 2021, but actually be able to learn and gain from 2021 and position yourself in a really good way for 2022. One thing I know is true of me, that I made some mistakes in 2021 that I also made in 2020 and 2019 and 2018. There are just some areas in my life where I continue to do the same dumb thing, or in some cases, sinful thing over and over again. I'm guessing that's part of your experience as well. But what we want to do is help our trajectory continually get better and better. Truly, we not only want to have a better quality of life year by year, but we want to be more like Jesus year by year. That's our goal in Bridgewater Student Ministries, is to help you become more and more like Jesus, so that together we're making more and more followers of Jesus Christ, more and better disciples. So let me just talk about the exercise we're going to do by talking about exercise. As you probably can tell by looking at me, I've been working out very faithfully for a couple of years. I know, I didn't even have to tell you, you already knew. Okay, maybe you didn't. But I have been working out very hard. And there came a point in the fall of 2020 that I was doing the workout that I had planned for that day, and I injured my back. I injured my back really significantly, and it meant that I needed to see several different doctors and get multiple treatments all through the year. I'm still getting treatment for an injury that I sustained to my back in August of 2020. And my doctors said a couple things to me. One, they told me what you probably already know. I'm not young. I'm not exactly as young as I used to be. I'm getting older now. And they also said that the moves that I was doing in my workouts, some of them I can no longer do. I can't do them anymore. In fact, I got some strict instructions to never do certain exercises ever again. And I could take that a couple of ways. I could say, thank you for your opinion. I'm going to do what I want. Or I can actually listen to people who probably know what they're talking about and do what they say, and then hopefully not get injured again. So you might be able to guess, I took their advice. There are just certain moves and things I just don't do anymore. I am getting older. I don't really have much to prove. I just want to keep my body healthy, and I want to feel good. So what I did is I looked back at what I did that caused the injury, learned from it, and now moving forward, I don't do those things anymore. It's just smart. It's just wise. In fact, it's even in the Bible. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." That's a really quick way of saying, if you messed up by doing something a certain way again, don't do that thing that way again. If you continue to do what you've always done, you'll continue to get the results that you're currently getting. So it's time to make some changes. So with all that in mind, we've got a worksheet for you tonight. You should already have it in your hand. You should have a writing instrument in your hand, a pen or a pencil, and you should be prepared. And your leader should be prepared to hit the pause button on this video, because we've got a series of questions for you that we think are going to help you evaluate the last year, 2021, learn from it, so that you can move into 2022 better positioned to live a better life, one that you're happier with, that involves less regret, and honestly, one that helps you become more and more like Jesus. So if you're ready to go, let's tackle the first question. Question number 1 is this: what were 2 great moments you experienced this year? That's it. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Take a moment and write down 2 great things, 2 great moments that you experienced this year. All right, that was pretty simple. Question number 2, this is just going to be the flip side. What were 2 discouraging moments you experienced this year? 2 moments that as you think about them, your face falls a little bit. They just were not any good. They weren't any fun. Take a moment, write them down. Paul tells us in Romans that God is always at work in our lives, and He's at work making us more like Jesus Christ. He does that for all those who love Him. So God's always at work. And what I want to know, what we are asking you in question number 3 is, in what circumstances did you see God at work this year? How did you see Him show up? Maybe it was a moment. Maybe it was a providential relationship. Someone stepped into your life and helped you out. Maybe it was a difficult scenario where you watched God come through for you. Maybe you were in a position of need and God provided. So using that as a spark, how did you see God show up in your life this year? Take a minute, write it down. All right, Next question, I want to introduce a scale to you. This scale goes from 0 to 4 and then from 6 to 10, meaning there is no 5. 5 is a cop-out answer. We're not going to use it. We're either going to be on the negative side or on the positive side. So, question number 4 is this. Describe your relationship with God overall during the last year using the scale below. 0 would be non-existent. You wouldn't even say you have a relationship with God. And 10 would be, it could not possibly get any better. So just think about it for a minute. Circle one of those numbers. This is not a test. You will not be graded. Pressure is off. Just want to help you think about it. All right, natural next question. This is number 5. All you're going to do here is explain why you chose that number. So when you determined what number to circle, what came to your mind? What did you use to consider how you would answer that question? Whatever those choices or experiences are, just write those down underneath this question, number 5. All right, number 6, here's what you're going to do now. You're going to list 2 changes, 2 adjustments you would need to make in order for you to better follow Jesus this year. Now, I'm going to ask you to be specific. Some of us who grew up in church are going to be tempted to put things like, I need to grow, or I need to read my Bible more, which those are true. But what I want you to do is be specific. How? In what areas do you need to grow? And if you're going to read your Bible more, how much more? Like how many days in the week? Drill down, be specific. Hopefully this will come up in your discussion with your group. All right, number 7, I need you to just be as mature as you possibly can be. For some of you, I know, a real challenge. I understand, but I know you can do it. We love young people, and what we love about young people is how capable they are of shocking the adults in their world by being mature and doing things that are that far exceed the expectations of most adults. So here's what you're going to do in number 7. You're going to list 3 people or resources that you can use that will help you grow closer to God in this new year, 2022. Are there a couple people who you think can be very, very helpful to you in helping you be closer to God, being more like Jesus? Is there a book, a devotional, something? Maybe it's the On Track devotional. Maybe you're going to do a reading plan with your small group. What are 3 people or resources you can use that will help you grow closer to God this new year? All right, you guys are doing great. We've got one more thing for you to do. This one's going to require a little bit of thought. I don't want you to rush it. I don't want you to feel like you have to say the perfect words. But what I'd like you to do is look over your answers, your responses from 1 through 7. Okay, so look them over. What you're going to do is, based on everything that you put down, I want you to write out a personal commitment based on what you've written on this sheet. Okay, so write down a commitment. In light of everything you put down, what will you commit to do this year? Then I want you to share it with someone who can help keep you accountable to it during the year. All right, so it's a little form for you. And then you're going to put your name in there and then commit to what? Once you've got that commitment down, I want you to go ahead and sign that thing. All right, put your signature on there, date it. Then I want you to bring it to someone else, preferably here in your group. You bring it to them and ask them to look at it, sign it, and then date it as well. All right, here's what we think is going to happen. We think if you will commit to invest in an exercise like this, you will position yourself not only to have gone through an entire calendar year, but to learn from an entire calendar year and position yourself for better choices, fewer regrets, a better quality of life, more impact, loving Jesus more in the brand new year. Any adult in your life who has any measure of wisdom has learned to process through their experiences in some measure. That's where wisdom comes from. It comes from learning from others, but also learning to lean into your own experiences, process through them, and figure out what adjustments you need to make because of them. Lord willing, if I do this right, I will avoid back injury from working out. I'm going to continue to get huge and jacked. I can't even say that. It doesn't even sound true. I'm going to keep working hard, and hopefully I will not injure myself again. But I'll be going through this exercise with you. And Lord willing, 2022 will be a year of better choices. I'll be more like Jesus, and it will be a way better year than 2021. We're here for you. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.